The late 90s and early 2000s was the era of child artists with Lil in front of their names. Some were able to keep their names out there, and the others disappeared for various reasons. Oftentimes, we see child stars making headlines for the wrong reasons. Here's what some of those young artists are up to these days. Lil Corey is best known for his single, Hush Lil Lady, featuring Lil Romeo. He grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and despite having a rough childhood, he learned how to play the piano on his own. At the age of 13, he recorded his hit single, Hush Lil Lady, featuring Lil Romeo, which was a major success.
Ain't trying to run no game, just wanna know your name. And by the smile, this on Hush Lil Lady, don't you cry. I bet that I can show you on the weekend. At the skating rink, could be cool.
On the weekend, me and you some friends, we can go for a ride in the back of the van, to the park, take with just me and you.
His debut album, I'm Just Corey, was released on March 19, 2002, and one of the songs on the album, titled Ghetto Superstar, was even used on the My Scene Dolls CD.
It was May or maybe June. I think it was the first time in my life that I had a fall coming down in June. Impossible.
After that album, he disappeared into obscurity. Years later, in 2008, 20-year-old Corey released his first single in years titled Say Yes. The song was a hit on the internet and was popular on MySpace.
On my phone, yes, I got your page. I just jumped in my ride. All you gotta say yes, say yes, say yes.
In the 2010s, he started performing as a rapper under the stage name Bando Jones and released a single in 2014, which was moderately successful on R&B radio, reaching number 31. The single was also featured as one of Complex Magazine's best new songs in 2014.
They don't know it's all that you is make me call you it till we both look crazy.
Tiffany Evans is best known for her 2007 hit Promise Ring, featuring Ciara. When she was 9 years old, she first appeared on Showtime at the Apollo, and in 2003, she won the Grand Champion title in the Junior Singer division of Star Search at 10 years old. She then signed with Columbia Records, and in 2004, she released a cover of Stacey Lattisaw's 1980 song, Let Me Be Your Angel.
Look at me, I have fallen so. Let me be your angel for you.
Tiffany released her self-titled debut EP that year, and it was sold exclusively in limited to clothing stores. On the EP, she covered the songs I Want You Back by the Jacksons 5, and I Am Telling You I'm Not Going by Jennifer Holliday, and True Colors by Cyndi Lauper. She landed her first acting gig in 2005 as the daughter of Tyler Perry's character in his debut film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. She went on to have roles in Tarzan, The District, and Law & Order Special Victims Unit.
I'm married, no matter how hard I try.
In 2007, she released her debut single, Promise Ring, featuring Ciara, and it reached number 66 on the US Billboard Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs.
Sometimes a girl needs to know that she's appreciated. Breaking up, gotta go that out.
In January 2008, she released her second single, I'm Grown, featuring Bow Wow. Her debut album, Tiffany Evans, was released in April that year, but failed commercially, only reaching number 134 on Billboard's 200. She would soon sign with Matthew Knowles' Music World Entertainment and release the lead single, I'll Be There, for her second album. but because of the lack of promotion, the song failed to chart. In 2011, Tiffany announced her departure from Columbia Records and Music World Entertainment, and her second album was never released. After that, she stepped away from the public eye until she revealed to Essence magazine that she had been married for almost 2 years and was expecting a child with her husband. Since then, she has released a mixtape and an EP, had a second child, and also divorced her husband. In an Instagram post, she revealed that the marriage was actually abusive. She's currently one half of the R&B duo Jawan and Tiffany with her boyfriend Jawan Harris. Karina Passion rose to fame in 2008 with her song 16 at War. She is from New York and is Afro-Dominican and Armenian mix. She started playing classical piano at 3 years old and can sing in 7 different languages. As a child, she attended professional performing arts school in New York City. In 2004, she competed on the American competition series Star Search, and she won. From there, she performed at the White House for Black Music Month and performed in Rome at Quincy Jones's We Are the Future concert.
From my heart, she is one of the most talented people that I've ever heard in my life. It is a personal honor to introduce to you, con todo mi corazón, my godchild, Karina Passion. Give up the love.
Her father often recorded her music covers and uploaded them to YouTube when the site had just launched.
It's just the emotion taking me over. Searching for the right, I keep avoiding me. Ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from and on I knew that by you in my life.
When she was 13, Interscope Records, Bad Boy Records, and Def Jam expressed interest in signing her. Karina decided to go with Def Jam, and her breakout single, 16 at War, was released in April 2008.
I'm 16 and I shouldn't have to feel like this. I'm 16 at war. 16 at war. 16 at war.
The track was written by The Dream and produced by powerhouse R&B producers like Tricky Stewart and Ku Carell. That August, she released her debut album, First Love, which debuted at number 57 on Billboard 200. The album was nominated for a Grammy for Best Contemporary R&B Album. In 2009, she started releasing a series of song covers and even collaborated with singer Sammy for a cover of Brandy's song, Broken Hearted.
Whoa, you played me dirty. Your game was so bad. You toyed with my afflictions, had to fill out my prescriptions. Found the remedy. I had to set you free, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, I've got my angel now.
She started working on her second album, but unfortunately, it never saw the light of day. In an interview with Rated R&B, she said, "It all happened so fast because right after the release of my album, my A&R Shakur Stewart passed away. I didn't really get much time to cope with that. It was kind of just overlooked and not really dealt with. My label was trying to find a new A&R for me, but then it just died down. I recorded a whole bunch of songs for that album, and nothing was happening. It just wasn't the same after he was gone." Throughout the 2010s, she released a few songs and EPs independently, but none of them reached the amount of success of 16 at War and First Love. These days, Karina Passion continues to release music, and she often posts song covers on Instagram. Lil Sammy's career took off at 11 years old after he appeared on Showtime at the Apollo in 1998.
I shed it.
A year later, he signed a record deal with Capitol Records, and in November of 1999, he released his lead single, I Like It.
You know my love emotions, that's the thing that got me open, and I don't know it. I like the way you look at me. I like it, girl. Don't you know I like it? I like it.
The track was written and produced by Dallas Austin, and it peaked at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot R&B and Hip Hop Singles chart, number 8 on the US Billboard Hot R&B Songs chart, and peaked at number 24 on Billboard's Hot 100. His debut album, From the Bottom to the Top, was released in March 2000, and it peaked at number 27 on the Billboard 200 and number 20 on the US Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop Albums chart. His second single, Crazy Things I Do, was released in early 2000 and reached number 39 on the Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs chart.
Call you on my cell phone, baby, even on beach time. The crazy things I do for love.
In 2001, he sang the chorus for the song Hardball, featuring Lil Bow Wow, Lil Wayne, and Lil Zane.
Right before your eyes, straight, this one's to the wall.
But after that, Sammy disappeared from the music industry for some years to enjoy his childhood. After graduating from high school in 2005, he signed with Dallas Austin's Rowdy Records and started recording music with Jazzy Faye and Brian Michael Cox. In summer 2006, he released the single You Should Be My Girl, which saw a little success on R&B radio.
Cause you're so fly, girl. You should come to my crib, but if you should be my girl.
His second album, Sammy, was released in October and reached number 42 on Billboard's Hot 100 with only 20,000 copies sold in its first week. The second single, Come With Me, was also moderately successful on R&B radio. In 2008, he was featured on Soulja Boy's hit song, Kiss Me Through the Phone, which peaked at number 3 and was 2009's 8th best-selling single with over 5.7 million copies sold worldwide, and it was also the number 1 video on BET's 106 & Park.
Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I can't right now, so baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later.
Over the next 10 years, he would independently release several mixtapes and EPs. Years later, Sammy admitted to losing everything after he was scammed by his former manager. His manager, who worked with him since he was 12 years old, had access to his personal account, his credit cards, and even co-signed on a Mercedes-Benz since he was young and had no credit. He told Essence magazine, "When I moved to Atlanta, I didn't have family. I'm from Florida. I was staying with him, so I got my Benz. I didn't have a lot of credit at the age of 18. He co-signed. Need an American Express card with a $25,000 limit. He would be the primary account holder to make sure I'm not splurging." The ex-manager gave him an ultimatum to either continue to work with him and get everything back or go his own way. Sammy decided to go off on his own and was doing concerts to take care of himself financially. He said he experienced dark days because of his financial issues. In 2012, he co-wrote the song Next Breath for singer Tank's 5th studio album, This Is How I Feel. Since then, he's released his 3rd album independently and it reached number 11 on Billboard's R&B album sales chart. He's also embarked on a solo tour and will join the 2nd Millennium Tour in 2021. R&B boy group B5 came onto the scene in 2005 with their breakout singles All I Do and You Got Me. The group consists of 4 brothers, Dustin, Kelly, Patrick, Brian, and their cousin Carnell. The B is for their last name, Breeding. The group was formed in Florida in 1998 with Dustin, Kelly, Patrick, and Carnell. They went by the stage name TNT Boys and started competing in competitions and appeared on tours with major R&B acts. While in Atlanta, they met P. Diddy and got signed to Bad Boy Records. Diddy produced their debut album with Rodney Jerkins, Sean Garrett, and Ryan Leslie. Their debut single, All I Do, is a cover of All I Do Is Think of You by the Jackson 5. Their debut album, B5, was released on July 19, 2005, and debuted at number 19 on the Billboard 200, while peaking at number 7 on the Billboard Top R&B and Hip Hop Albums chart. Their second single, You Got Me, also peaked at number 9 on Radio Disney, but it failed to make Billboard's Hot 100. They went on to record Get Your Head in the Game for Disney's High School Musical soundtrack and toured with Bow Wow and Omarion on the Scream Tour 4. The group released a follow-up album, Don't Talk, Just Listen, in September 2007, but it had little success with only 19,000 copies sold in its first week, and the singles Hydraulics featuring Bow Wow and In My Bed failed to chart. This would be B5's last album with Bad Boy Records. They started releasing music under the new name Audio, but changed it back to B5 after a while. They released a few buzz singles throughout the 2010s, and some of the members left the group temporarily, while Dustin, Kelly, and Carnell performed together under the stage name Men in Black. In 2018, the group released their comeback single, Do That, and they've been teasing their forthcoming EP titled New Jacksons. In 2019, B5 joined the TB R&B reunion tour with Immature, Ray J, Day 26, and Jay Holiday. This year, the group celebrated the 15-year anniversary since the release of their debut album. Brian called out Diddy and Bad Boy for failing to compensate them for their album sales, something that's been alleged before by former Bad Boy artists. He said, "We made about 99.9% of all of our income from live performances and merchandise. Until this day, I've never seen a penny from any of our B5 commercial albums. For years, we reached out to lawyers, advisors, and even TV networks for a chance to help us or tell our story, and no one ever touched it with a 10-foot pole. So here I am, telling my story, my truth, and not from a woe is me perspective, but as an example for the next generation of young artists to write and own your content. Read your contracts and create new sounds for the love of music as an expression of who you are. You don't need to compromise for the bag or the glamorized record label deal. We have enough artists like that and doing a great job at it. Most of the guys from B5 are fathers now. What other child singers should I cover next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and like this video and subscribe to Black Femininity TV for more content.